Anybody can watch them.
We're gonna put that.
These videos are public? What?
Get well.
Nobody's going to be watching them apart from you guys.
Exactly.
When you come back,
You
give me
never
a
know.
kiss.
What if we go viral?
Dude, who was listening
I seriously don't think we're going to go viral.
None of us.
I have a lot of friends, you know, I can make my friends. No, I'd like to.
Wait, you can just type random stuff and do it. And then
Yeah.
just- Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why does it take so much effort all the time to the right pack?
All right, so we finished up yesterday on question 4. And the thing you need to remember about question 4 in these types of questions is what that you all forgot about. Your
Triangle.
exact values, yes? Okay. You have to make sure that you include your exact values. No, so we're down here. We've got this animation. So we're all in the same question, yes? All right, so we got this segment. This is the stuff that we did at the start of the year. We need to find the length of the radius of the circle. So this, one of this length, OB or OA. Okay. So, any thoughts?
O sine the size of O angle is 2 sine the size of 5 So you can start with that and try to.
So this angle is twice the size of this angle?
Yeah.
Okay, that is correct. So remembering our rules of circle theorems, which I'm hoping it sounds like you did last year. If you didn't, we will revisit it, okay? But if we have got a kind of arrowhead shape like this angle is twice this angle. So how do I'm going to label this angle properly. Do I have a symbol for it? Doesn't look like it. Can anybody see a symbol like?
For angle?
Yeah.
No, I couldn't find it, so I just kind of used a triangle.
This one? We
Yeah,
could
I
use
just
this
said
one.
triangle, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so this is angle AOB is equal to, and they're using capitals, so I will too. AOB is equal to, I already said it's twice the size of this one, so it's just 2 pi over 3. Okay, so that's the size of that angle. That's 2 pi over 3. Can I write on this, or is it? No. It's just leaves it as it is. 2 pi over 3. Okay, so that's that angle. What else? What did you talk about, Jaden?
Cosine.
Okay, the cosine rule. So how could I use the cosine rule? You're right. What is the cosine rule? Let's call this, so this is R, and this is R. So, come on, who can remember the cosine rule?
Well, it's the angle in between.
All right.
I don't know.
The formula is R. It's C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine C.
Right, cool. So AB squared equals R squared plus R squared minus 2 times r times r
Yeah.
times cos of the angle in between, which is 2 pi over 3. I'm just going to write it like that for now, okay? This formula, I'm pretty sure you're given it. So if we go back into here, it's important to know that all this stuff is here. There it is there, okay? So c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cos c, okay? And remembering that it's the angle, this is the angle that is in between two sides, okay? All right? So I've got down to here. So we can tidy this up a little bit. So ab squared is equal to what? 2r squared plus, sorry, take away 2r squared, and then, right, cos 2 pi over 3. Now, do we know what cos of 2 pi over 3 is?
Yes, it is 60, yeah.
60?
Yeah, 60 degrees.
Because?
Because pi over 3 is 30, so 2 pi over 3 is 60. Multiplying it by 2.
Oh, alright. You need to be careful.
Oh, you don't want to make it sound like you multiply pi by 2. So then, since it's 2 pi now, you're dividing 2 pi by 3. Which
Yeah.
gives you 60.
Do we need? We're going to need it for the next part, which is why this is quite an annoying question. We could just put cos of 2 pi over 3 into our calculator. Yes? So, what is cos of 2 pi over 3 in the calculator? So multiply by 0.
9. Oh, you got that. 9. 3, 3. 1. 974.
Okay, so now we're down to this point. So I'm just looking at the mark scheme and it says R has to be an exact form, which is a little unfair because it doesn't actually state that in the question. So we're going to have to get rid of that, I'm afraid. Right, 2 pi over 3 is how many degrees? Good. 2 pi over 3 is 120 degrees. Okay, now cos of 120 degrees is the same as cos of what? So thinking about our cos graph, cos of 120 is over here. That is the same as cos of, what's this value compared to this one and this one? What's this one here?
90.
That one is 90. Okay, how far is it away from 120? 30. So I need to go 30 back from 90, which is 60. But it's this is going to give me a positive answer, so it needs to be negative cos of 60. Yep. And thinking back to our triangle, 60, 30, 90, where I've got 1, 2, root 3. Cos of 60 is a half. So negative cos of 60, which is the same as cos of 120, is negative a half. Okay, that all comes back to the graphs of costs. Okay. And using the triangles, so it's negative 0.5. Okay, so I can put this in up here, multiplied by negative 0.5. Okay, next line, AB squared is equal to something tells me this is easier than it should be. I'm making a so a negative times a negative is a positive, so I get positive, the 2 times a half, this gives me 1. So I've got r squared. We okay with that? So AB squared is equal to how many r squareds? Right. Do I know anything about AB? Am I told anything about AB? Yes, AB is, we've worked it out, 3 root 3. Phew. So 3, I'm putting equation editor. 3 root 3, and I am squaring all of that. That is all equal to 3 times r squared. Are we okay with that? AB is what we worked out in the first part of the question. So what is 3 root 3 squared?
It's 3 times 3. Well, no, 9 times 3.
9 times 3, because 3 times 3 is 9. Root 3 squared is 3, so that's 27. Is equal to 3r squared. Divide both sides by 3. I get 9 is equal to r squared. So r is equal to 3. And I'll level with you. That's a bit of a pain of a question to do without a pencil and paper. You must know your exact values, okay? You must be able to know cos of 120 is the same as negative cos 60. Okay, you will have scrap paper that you can draw and sketch stuff out. Does that kind of make sense? Actually, it was Ari made a really good, he attempted every single kind of part of, I think it was this question or it was the next question. Sorry, Ari, I'm going to use you as an example, but he didn't necessarily get every single thing right, but he picked up a load of marks. Because if you look at the mark scheme, it's talking about, you know, using your answer, okay, your previous answer. And so he picked up a lot of marks, and it's just, you can't afford to leave things blank, which is what quite a few of you did.
I had trouble finishing. For like me, at least.
Did trouble finishing, yeah?
Yeah. Like, I was trying to get as much done as possible, but they were kind of spread out, and a lot of the questions I just didn't get to like that. Yeah, like that question, I saw it and I was like, stupid.
3 root 3. That's something. Right, hence determine the exact value of the perimeter of the shaded segment. So I want AB, which is 3 root 3, so I need to work out this part here. Now, what is this called? Right, good, Jaden. So it's arc of AB. Now, you can remember how we work out the length of an arc. Do we need to remember? Don't think so. Is it in here? Nope. Is it... Excuse me. Maybe I think you might need to remember. You should all remember it's easiest one. Length of an arc? Anyone? Radius times angle. Okay, angle has to be in radians. Okay, it will not work if it's in degrees. So this is nice. Okay, so the arc AB is equal to the radius, which is 3. Now, even if you didn't get 3 in this part, you will get this right. Okay, you will get the marks for it, even if you didn't get this bit correct. The angle is 2 pi over 3. 3 times 2 pi over 3 is just 3 times 2 pi over 3. Three times 2 pi over 3. 3 times 2 pi over 3.
Oh, 6.
6 pi over 3, which is 2 pi, right. Okay, so that's the arc. What else do I need to do then? The perimeter. So the perimeter is equal to what? 2 pi plus what do we need to add on to it? I want the perimeter of this blue segment. So 2 pi plus,
Minus.
I want the perimeter of the blue segment. I've just worked out that AB is equal to 2 pi, okay? This arc is 2 pi. How do I work out the perimeter of this blue segment then? What do I have to add on to it?
Well, I was thinking of different way to do it, but
How do I work out the perimeter of that blue segment? Perimeter, what is perimeter?
Well, it's all the sides added together.
Right, and I'm just looking at this blue segment, so I know what this is. This
So-
is,
Oh, it added to AB.
yeah.
right,
3 root 3.
right, so I just need to add on 3 root 3.
Oh, okay. I thought
So
that was-
perimeter is 2 pi plus 3 root 3. Yes? All right. Any questions on that? Should have got it?
I didn't get that one because I didn't get the question above it and it's just hint tournament.
Right.
It's like a mess.
So remember, even if you don't get this, you get yourself a value for R, even just make up a value for R, and use it to try and do this, okay? Because you'll get these marks anyway.
Oh, okay.
All right, yeah, because you get follow 3 marks. All right, Lily? Any questions? Right, look at question 5. Okay, this was badly done, but I think it was the reason because we didn't know how to use these things. Is that correct?
Oh my gosh.
All right.
I tried to use the dots and then I didn't know if I was supposed to draw a line or like what was going on.
So look, we can rotate them, we can make them longer, etc. We can use the dots. We can do all sorts with these, okay? So first off, so we've already got y is equal to x squared that has been drawn. Yes. Oh yeah, sorry. So identify the region of the solution set for x is greater than 0. So here's x is greater than 0, it's above the x-axis. Y is greater than 0. Apologies, x is greater than 0 is, sorry, to the right of the y-axis. Y is greater than 0 is above the x-axis. We want y is less than or equal to x squared. 2x plus y is greater than or equal to 12, and x is less than or equal to 5. So we have to draw in these curves, okay? So x, let's do the easy one. If I had to draw in x is equal to 5, it's just a straight, what? Not just straight though, but straight vertical line. Come on, Mr. Line. Okay, and I draw it, and I want to make sure it's nice and straight. Hey, how are you?
Good, thanks. I'm not here to shout at Ari.
Really? Oh, right, okay.
Charlie asked me to come.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no problem. Excuse me. That's okay. So, look, with these inequality signs, all right, the easiest thing to do is just treat it as if it's an equal sign first, okay, to be able to draw it. Yes? So if I want to draw x is less than or equal to 5, you draw the line x is equal to 5. Okay, this is the line x is equal to 5 because everywhere along this line, what is the value of x? It is 5, okay? So that is x is equal to 5. If I was going to draw, what would the equation of this line be, just out of interest? Y equals 25, because everywhere along that line, the value of y is 25, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind when you're doing these. Now look, when you're doing a question like this, you are going to end up with a region, okay? If you do not, you know that you've done something wrong. So for example, you're going to end up with something that's going to look something like that, where you've got a region enclosed by the 3 lines, okay? If you do not, if you end up with, say, this, all right? You do not have a, well, this could be a particular region or this one, but it's going to be obvious what that region is, okay? So just bear that in mind when you're doing these, okay? If it doesn't look correct, then it's probably not. Right, what about drawing 2x plus y is greater than 12? How are we going to do that? Imagine it's an equal sign. What do we do? How do we draw 2x plus y is equal to 12? Right, we sub in some values. So what would be an easy value to sub in first?
0.
0 for which?
X.
Okay, so if I put 0 for x, what is the value of y going to be? 12, right. So it's going to go through, and I'm going to use my points this time, 0, 12. Okay, so that's one particular point. Give me another point.
1.
If I put x is equal to 1, so this now becomes 2. 2 plus what is 12?
10.
10, right. So I'm going to put in another point here. Do I need to draw any more points?
No.
No, because you only need how many points to draw a straight line?
2.
2, so that's going to do me. Okay, and I'm going to try and put this through here as nicely as possible. You could keep going and put in as many as you want. And this is where I'm going to have to make this a bit bigger. How's that looking? You can maybe make it. Okay, so I've got my line drawn. Is everybody okay with drawing the lines? The region, and again, just looking at this, you can see what the region is, okay? It has to be surrounded by all 3, but we can check it. Y is less than x squared, so here is x squared. Okay, so y has to be less than it, so it has to be underneath the red curve. It has to be greater than this line, okay? And it has to also be less than 5. Okay, so less than this line, but greater than this one, okay? That is just from this information up here. And so that is my region. Okay? Write down the maximum value of the function f equals 3x plus y for the values within this solution set. So what's the maximum value of the function? What point does it give the maximum? What coordinate? 525. This gives the maximum out. So 525. Okay. And so if I put that into the function, so the function max is equal to 3 times our value of x, which is 5, and then we're having to add on 25. 3 5s are 15. 15 add 25 is 40. And again, even if you drew this incorrectly and you used a point that was a maximum, okay, like this one, and did this, you would get the marks. You can see it's just substitution, yes? There's nothing too crazy going on there. Any questions on that one? Should have got full marks on that, yes? Yes? Should have. All right, now we start getting into the big markers. Okay, so again, this one was actually done pretty well. We've got this level of taxation. I think everybody got this first part correct, which was good. So I'll just kind of go through. We're looking at taxing an income of 80,000. This is how tax works in the UK, by the way. So between 0 and 6,000, that is tax-free. This is your tax-free allowance. You don't get taxed on that. Between 6,000 and 12, you get taxed a certain amount, and then and so on. Okay, so this amount is how much are they getting? How much of their income is being taxed here between 25 and 70?
70 minus 25. 70,000 minus 25,000.
Right, good. 70,000 minus 25,000, and that is being taxed at 30%. And that gives us a value of 13500. Then above 70,000, it's taxed at 41%. So that's only 10 grand that is being taxed, because it's 80,000, take away 70,000. And that's at 41%. 1100, and then you have to work out the total, just adding them up nice and carefully. 19750. Okay, and that helps you with your next part of the question, okay? All good? Excuse me. Now, for this next part, it is frustrating because you kind of have to keep scrolling up and down. One thing Kate did, which I liked, was she took this, copied it, pasted it straight in here, okay? So you know exactly what you're going to do, okay? I recommend any types of questions like this, you do it, okay? Excellent. So, we're going to start at the start. Identify the relevant elements to consider when comparing the two scenarios. Now, this part is worth 2 marks. So what factors do you need to consider when comparing whether you're going to move away or stay? Yes, Samara. Okay. Be more specific.
Well,
Because this is all to do with money.
like your free money, I guess.
Your
Like once you
specific to the question. What type of money? Where's your money coming from?
your paycheck.
Your paycheck, right? Which is your income, okay?
Yeah.
So you must consider, and I'm not going to write a lot of stuff here. Must consider income. What else must you consider? Exchange rates between countries. What else? If you only write 2 things, you get 1 mark. I need more than 2 things.
Bills.
Okay, so bills is up there. Yep, what else? Emergency funds, what else?
Travel fund.
Okay, travel costs, travel, stroke, relocation costs. Anything else? That would, or,
Oh, personal money.
uh,
Or rent or something.
yeah, rent. You could also put, even though it doesn't apply to this, you could put personal circumstances, like i.e. leaving family, okay? That's all you need, okay? You're not looking for a massive essay here, Jaden, okay? It just has to be short and sweet for 2 marks. Then we move on to the next bit. Make appropriate calculations to make a decision. So, okay, look, you all pretty much set this out quite nicely, all right? But we're looking at the difference between either staying where they are or relocating to Denmark. So, we're going to set it up with the first one, which is staying home, okay? And I'm going to do all of that first. So the wages, so what do we need to consider? Okay, income. So we know that they earn 40,000 per year, okay? And we need to calculate tax on income, okay? And the good thing is, we can kind of look back up to here, because I think is the tax rate the same? Yep, this tax rate is the same as up here. But they're only earning 40,000. So the only one that's going to change is this line, okay? So the first 2 stay the same. I think everyone did this, which was good. So it's going to be 330 plus 1820 plus 15,000 multiplied by the 30%, okay? So that is how much they get taxed every year, okay? So take-home pay is 40,000. Take away 6650, which equals 33350, okay? We now need to consider their expenses, okay? So expenses, we've got rent, medical's free, personal and bills. That's all, 400, 900 and 500. And is that a month or a year? So that's monthly, okay, so that's 1,800 a month. So that works out at 1,800 times 12, which is equal to it's 12. 21600. Do I need to consider anything else in this? Nope. So if they stay at home, they have disposable income. So that's how much you've got after you've paid all your fees and all your rent and your expenses, paid your tax. 3350. And like I said, you guys did set this out pretty well. You do want to be as clear as possible. So they will have 11750 disposable income, okay? A year. Is that okay? So that's if you stay at home. Make this nice. The next thing you need to then look at is relocate. I'm not going to work this all out, but we'll just quickly talk about it. It is the exact same type of thing, okay? Except the only kind of difference is they have a extra cost, which is, if I go up here, yeah, the travel, okay? It doesn't say how many trips home, but that's up for you to decide. If you think, okay, I would just say, okay, maybe they're going to return twice. Make that assumption, okay? Or if you think they're going to return 5 times, and then that's something you would comment on at the end, okay? There's no kind of right or... The calculations can be right or wrong, okay? But what you say about it afterwards is subjective, okay? And you will get marks as long as you explain everything you've done. Okay? Does that make sense? So when you kind of come down to this, justify... I'm going to leave this one because it's the same as the last. But justify the accuracy. What do you think? We talked about this before.
Always accurate because exchange rates change.
Okay, not accurate as exchange rates will change. We want a few things here just to get our 2 marks. What else? I'll give you one. Monthly expenses are estimates.
Oh, no, with the economy, don't rent prices go up and down.
Rent prices may go up.
And then also
You-
medical, like their medical fees, like if there was a large emergency,
Yeah,
because it's life, things happen, something,
if there's a large medical emergency,
it wouldn't just be covered by like.
it would not be covered in Denmark. Okay? I think it was. So, you comment on all these things. You need to make sure that you put at least 3 or 4, okay? And then you need to then make a decision. Give your decision. Very, like 1 or 2 of you did this, okay? And some of you just commented on, you know, the whether it's they should or should not. You need to actually say relocate or do not relocate, okay? So if you want to say, again, it's entirely up to you. It's not right or wrong. Relocate because you have more money at the end of the year to spend on yourself or something like that. Or don't relocate as you will miss family, etc. Okay? But again, you want a couple of points. Okay, you want 2 points. Okay? Not enough money, not enough extra money to warrant a move to a new country. You see what I mean? It's just explain what you've done, all right? It's not right or wrong, especially these wordy ones. And you must give a decision, okay? You can't just say, well, if I did move, it would do this, or make the decision, yep, and then explain why you've made the decision. Like, these are easy marks. Even if you mess up all this stuff and type stuff in here, you're going to pick up marks, okay? Excuse me. Any questions on that?
Can we do what we just did, where you can give one reason for going and one reason for staying, or does that have to be
No.
both for the same?
The question says, give your decision
Okay.
and a reflection on this offer. So you make a decision, yeah. If it said something like, discuss the benefits of moving or staying, then you would give the advantages and disadvantages, okay? All good? Okay, we don't have long, but this question, seriously, all we're doing is working out the area of this. the mess of the working out.
Oh, jeez. I don't know where
I
I got
hated that.
And I understand that trying to work out the area of this is difficult and trying to show exactly what you're doing, but you have to try and be as clear as possible, okay?
That one was good with the other flag.
Yep. So we'll come back to these ones, okay? I might just record these and probably post them on YouTube and then you can watch them yourselves, as I don't really want to give up any more time on doing this, okay?
The handshake.
And then, yeah, I'll do that one as well, yeah. Because that's a good 30 mark, okay? Any questions? Like, do we think, kind of going over this, that we definitely should have been scoring higher?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really do believe that you guys are capable of getting at least level 5s in this. Okay? We just need to, and I fully admit that kind of doing it on the computer is difficult. But you will have a pen and paper beside you that you can draw out your triangles, draw out your cost curves and all that type of stuff. Did all that stuff at the start of the year, okay? If we need to go back and look at it, okay, we can do that, but we do have a lot of stuff to get through as well. All good? All right, let's leave it there then. Everyone.